My name is Knox. I work for a charity that works with people with aphasia. That's a communication disability. And what I'm doing here is trying to do whatever it is that I can do to be part of this movement. I think that the people that are camping out here, obviously they're linked to the whole Occupy movement that's sprung up around the world. And I think even if we can't stay here ourselves, there's a lot that we can do in practical terms to support it, because it affects all of us, the issues that they're fighting. I'm not an expert in any way whatsoever. I'm just an ordinary person that is seeing things that are happening around the world, seeing issues with financial crisis, seeing issues of human rights being abused, and I think that's what this camp is here for, to work in solidarity with the movement around the world, to try and produce solutions to those problems. What would I like to see happen?
Ideal world.
That in an ideal world, yeah, that's a big question. I think first of all an acknowledgement that there is a problem, an acknowledgement that the solutions that are being posited by government, for example, in terms of cuts, is not the solution. I would like to see that acknowledgement first, and then I would like to see listening happen. People argue, the government argue that they're listening to people who've got this big society. I don't believe that that's happening. I don't believe people are being listened to. I think that's really important. And then from there, working towards solutions. You want to see more equity. I don't know that that's ever going to happen in my lifetime, but more equity in terms of resources, both financially and in other terms, but also opportunity as well, human rights, everything. I want everything to be better. Yeah.
My name's Chelsea, I'm from Leeds, and I've basically just come down here today to try and get involved, help out in any way that I can, because like many other people, I think I've grown tired of the inequality, and when you really look into the facts, you realise that somebody's got to start doing something about it, and I really hope that momentum builds with this. It's great to see that it's spreading and loads of different countries are getting involved. I'm here just to show my support for the cause, and hopefully it will lead to something in the coming months, if not weeks. As soon as you begin to understand what this is all about and why these people are here, then anyone in their right mind, as I see it, should want to support this, even if they can't get down here. You know, some people can't leave their jobs or whatever to be here, but I think people should definitely be supporting this cause and showing their interest and getting involved in whatever way they can, even if they can't be here. If you're tired of being poor, of seeing the rich get richer while the poor get poorer, then you need to support this cause. You need to do what you can. You need to find out more about what these people here are trying to say, and even if you can't get down here, just do what you can and really educate yourself, if nothing else, on this system that is in power at the minute.
My name is Michael Dickinson. I've been living in Istanbul for 25 years, but I'm English. I came back this summer to help to spread the idea of the World Strike 2012, which is next year, and it's calling for, I'll turn around a minute, calling for of money. This will be a strike next year on the opening day of the Olympic Games. On that day, when the flame is lit, that is the signal for everybody who wants a moneyless world, where we can create a much better society without money, without capitalism. Everybody will strike at that moment, or will demonstrate and say, we want a moneyless world. Strike 2012, opening day of Olympic Games. Change the world.
We're known as Anonymous UK for obvious reasons. We came down on the very first day to lend support to Occupy London, or occupy the London Stock Exchange. And we've been here from the very start. We tried to build bridges with the police, we tried to build bridges with the Church of England, and we've succeeded on both of those counts. Our main aim is to lend as much support to this whole occupation and keep it as peaceful and as human as possible. We're popping around, sharing free hugs, sharing information on the corruption that is around the 99%, and bringing up some facts that people may or may not know about the elite, the bankers, the corrupt government systems, and generally trying to wake people up. If you take the 400 richest people in America and put all their wealth combined, their wealth would equal the wealth of 150 million US citizens. Now that's the 99% there, and your 1% is the 400 elite. That sort of thing has to be a thing of the past. While we're struggling to feed our children, working 80, 90 hours a week for minimum wage, you've got bankers, corrupt politicians, of which David Cameron is one, sitting around banquet tables, having their lavish dinners, eating caviar, drinking champagne, supposedly discussing how to make Britain better. They also have £2 million kickbacks every now and then. They have everything, we have nothing. There must be a change. It's not just the UK anymore. It's very clear that this is a world problem. 81 countries, over 1,000 occupations, all saying the same thing. Enough is enough. We want change. Occupy Wall Street has been going for 4 weeks. It's only in the last 5 days you've had any news on it on our mainstream media. BBC, Sky, ITV, Channel 5, CNN, Fox, they're all censored. You're only allowed to see what the government wants you to see. And as soon as, the good thing is, of course, now we have YouTube, we have Russia Today, we have MSNBC, and we have Press TV, who are now having their licence reviewed for telling the truth. So, the way I see it, until we can get the corruption completely eradicated, until we can get freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, and the right to watch the news as it happens around the world without it being censored and dumbed down for us poor mortals at the bottom of the ladder, we're never going to have a democracy. This is supposed to be a leading democratic country, and yet every time you go there is a law to stop you doing something. But they're not common laws, they're acts of parliament, which are corporate laws. They're to protect the corporations. The City of London is a corporation. It's not a city, it's a corporation. That means it's got corporate laws. We have to abide by corporate law instead of common law.
My name is Cornelius Aisha, and what I'd like to say is that I want to live in a culture that's nurturant. And I have a way of expressing this, and it's like we occupy the earth, we decolonize our minds, we listen to our hearts, we share what we have, we nurture all the people, and we love all the children. And if we have that ethic all the way through whatever structure, whether it's capitalism or socialism, whatever it is, then we'll have a society that nurtures, and it will also nurture the environment around it. And that's what nature does. Nature nurtures life for more life. Every single creature does things that nurture other creatures. Even their poo, it goes in the ground, it becomes food for more life. And this, for me, is what we're trying to express. I think that this society, the power structures in this society tend to damage empathy. From the moment a child is born, they're taken away from the mother, it's in bright lights, there's trauma going on all the time. And so from the very, very beginning, we have to incorporate nurturance into our processes, because that helps develop empathy. Because I'll tell you where empathy comes from. It comes from self-empathy. If you know yourself, if the child is left to cry, and cry, eventually they give up and they suppress their pain and they fall asleep. And in expressing their pain, they're losing touch with a part of themselves. And that's the beginning of the loss of self-empathy. If you don't have self-empathy, it's very difficult to have empathy for other people. If you don't have empathy for other people, there's a feeling of disconnection from that which nurtures us. And that brings about a big feeling of fear. Out of that fear comes the need to control. And anything we control that's natural will resist. And that's where violence comes in. And you can see this through the systems that we're currently living in. We didn't design these systems, we were born into them. We weren't expecting it when we were coming out of the womb. We were expecting people to go, hello, I'm so glad you're here, you're a lovely human being. I'm going to watch you grow up because I know you've got all the tools and all the skills to grow up and learn how to love and be nurtured and nurturing in this world. And that's really the simplest way I can describe it.
My name is Salah. I'm Algerian, live in the United Kingdom for over 20 years. I support these people. I support the 99%. I think the country is in mess, especially people who are running business. Most of the shops closed. I used to have a business myself because the government is supporting only small business, big business. They don't support a small business. It seems there's no common sense about businesses, and everything's gone the wrong way. So that's why people they sitting here for nearly 5 days now to the protest and occupy this area. And I think they're doing right because everyone have a problem. If there is no problem, nobody come here. It's Algerian is different. In Algeria, we need to change in different way. Not like what happened in Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya. Algeria, maybe they have to give a chance to the youth, to the new generation, because most new generation, they're very educated and they have like a university and a lot of skills. We want some new generation, not people over 70s, because when you come over 70s, you don't have energy to do anything. There is some problem in this world, and as I told you earlier, there is a problem everywhere. So we have to be, as human beings, we have to be united to solve these problems nicely.
My name is Sandra Blair. I am from South London. I was on my way back from a hospital appointment and I decided to walk around here. I have spoken to a few people here and I agree with what they're doing. The bankers have screwed us and we, the public, are now left with this huge bill. All the cuts that David Cameron is doing at the moment, the debt can never be repaid in our lifetime, so I don't understand why he's doing the cuts so drastically now. It's not benefiting anybody. Services are getting taken away, libraries are closing. I'm not saying they shouldn't do the cuts, but they could have done them a lot slower. We bailed out the banks and we, the public, cannot even go to the bank and ask them for a loan. You know, at the end of the day, we the public are suffering, and it's very unfair that we are suffering for the fat cats that are still getting their bonus. I don't think they should be entitled to their bonus. I think that they should give back the money that they have taken from the public. I think that we should sack every one of the governments around the world, and I think a new system should be set up that is not controlled by the banking system. That's the only way it can change. We need another form of system, because the one we've got now does not work. That's the only way change is going to happen. Get rid of all these people that are in politics for their own benefit, because they're not in politics for mine and your benefit. So, as far as I'm concerned, scrap the system that we have and start again.
Beautiful.
Thank you.